All right, we're back at it again. Wolfmaro's getting the tube front end. She slowly but surely turned into a race car. It's still a street car, but she's turned into a race car. It hasn't got here yet. I just ordered it this morning. So it should be here by the end of this week, maybe beginning of next week. I already talked to Matt. I'll link his name for his Facebook. He's going to be installing this tube front end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make his life a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and remove his front bumper. I'm going to also remove everything else in the engine bay that needs to be moved, except the engine. I'm not going to pour the engine out. I'm going to go ahead and lop it off where it needs to be lopped off or cut off. So I am going to be taking a quick trip over to Harbor Freight here shortly, and I'm going to get me some cutoff wheels. I'm about to go cutting crazy. Also, I ordered me double adjustable Viking coilovers for the front. I don't know if I'm going to do the coilovers in the back or just do a single adjustable shock in the rear. 2025 is going to be a big year. I don't know how I'm going to do my radiator setup. I don't know if I'm going to keep my radiator in the front of the car or if I'm going to put my radiator in the back up under like the trunk. Rock Solid Motorsports make this flat delete panel for the trunk. That way the little tub that's on the inside of the trunk, you can cut that out. That way I can mount my radiator kind of high up. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might leave it in the front. I don't know. But I'm very excited. I'm not going to bore y'all with a lot of talking. We're about to get straight into it. I'm about to start taking this car apart. We just made it to Toys R Us. About to go up in here and get some cutoff wheels. How about this? How many come in here? 10? 10 pack? This should be plenty enough for what I need. So I already got my flap disc at home, but I don't think I'm gonna try to clean it up. I think I'm gonna let Matt do the cleaning up. My job is to just cut it off. Also, I need a blade for my Sawzall. So, gotta find that somewhere. I think these are the Sawzall blades I'm gonna need. 14 TPI. They should cut right through what I'm trying to cut through. It took me about an hour and a half to get to this point here. So I already drew my lines on my frame where I'm gonna cut it off. You're gonna follow this transition on both sides, and then you're gonna mark this straight up. I used a little small straight level. Also, you're gonna break off like this corner, and it's gonna meet here. Cut this straight off. If you cut the frame straight, it should just weld right up. But hey, I'm not gonna be the one doing the welding, but I am gonna be the one doing the cutting. Also, they said you wanna follow this, cut a line from, the line starts here on the inside of the frame. And they say you want your cut to be like right behind this hole here, that factory hole. So that's what I'm about to do. So I'm probably gonna set up another time lapse, and I'm gonna get the cutting on this thing. All right, safety first. We're not doing no safety squints today. I don't feel like getting no kind of nothing in my eyeballs. I gotta protect these eyeballs for a couple more years. Oh yeah, by the way, if you made it this far in this video, today's my birthday. So if you don't mind dropping a happy birthday in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated. I got both of the fender supports cut already. They came out fairly straight. That's about where they said cut it at right here. It's straight as an arrow. I cut it all the way through. You can see it through here. I cut it to this line. I'm gonna finish this off with the angle grinder. Cut this with the angle grinder. And I don't know if, I probably end up cutting this with the Sawzall if I can. I'm trying to cut it as straight as I can, Sawzall. Same thing for this side. Just gonna repeat that process. But this is it. I got my line right where it needs to be. It's straight, nice and straight on both sides. Like I said, I only cut it to here, to this point here. I'm gonna finish all this up with the grinder, angle grinder. I just don't want it to be a hack job. And plus, I wanna make sure I don't overcut. I wanna make sure everything's square. That way when I take it to Matt, he don't run into any issues. Dang, this thing is heavy. I'm curious to know how much it weighs. This thing is a unit. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I guess there ain't no turning back now, boys. All of this coolant leaked out of this water pump onto my floor. I tried to catch as much as I could, but I guess it all went on the floor. And those cuts, I tried to cut it as straight as I possibly could. That's about as straight as it's gonna get. I didn't grind it. I didn't try to clean it up. I'm not gonna mess with anything. This right here got a little jagged. It's a little jagged right here, but I can always come back and clean that up with a flap disc. It's not that big of a deal. This side over here actually came out pretty perfect. It come out looking nice. Square, tubing is square. Gotta trim this little piece here up. I don't know if you can see it. This little ear here, I need to trim that up. Other than that, I mean, shoot, I didn't overcut. If anything, I undercut. I just wanted to make sure that Matt didn't have to go out of his way to try to make the tube front fit. I want you could him to be able to just pull it straight out the box and MIG it right on. I think he said MIG or TIG, one of them. I don't know. I'm not a welder. I know how to cut things apart though. Golly. All right, it's the next day. I'm pretty sure I showed y'all this last night, but I'm gonna show y'all again in the daylight. So I noticed this morning, I might have cut just a little bit too much right here, but there ain't nothing a little well can't fix from the bottom. And once you wear that tube front end on, you would never know, you'll never see it. But I went ahead and I put my fuse box inside of a trash bag because I'm about to load this thing up on a trailer. It's supposed to snow this weekend. I'm also gonna cover my intake up. That way I don't get no water or anything in there. But as far as that, this is it. Got the car loaded up. She's ready to take a quick ride. Y'all look at my contraption. So, I don't have a winch mount on this trailer, so I had to fabricate something. So usually, this receiver will go into like a hitch style mount on your trailer, but this is a brand new trailer, and I haven't had one welded on yet, so I use chains, a bolt, and I use the straps on the handles to keep the winch from rocking side to side. And you got the car on here like nothing.
The next day.
We made it over here, the Lost Wages Racing. He's about to install this tube front end. Also, we're gonna do an anti-roll bar. So I'm gonna let Matt take over. He's gonna explain exactly what we're doing and go from there.
I mean, you already cut everything, so we're good. Only thing I gotta do right now is prep the metal, like grind some of your spots, get it ready to weld up. The kit should be pretty easy. I don't know, what you think? We'll be done with the front end probably a couple hours, and then we'll do the anti-roll bar. And this car should actually start working pretty good for what it is.
You want to put your Facebook name?
Yeah, I mean,
Google name?
The Google name for what I'm doing here is just LWR Fabrication and Rim Repair. Facebook page, Lost Wages Racing. Most people on your thing probably have seen it or know it. I do like turbo kits and fabrication like this. Haven't gotten into roll cages yet. don't have a tube mender. So this is going to be who's a Rock Solid's front end kit.
Rock Solid boards.
It'll be pretty easy. I mean, we'll show some like highlights of it. I haven't done this kit before, so we'll see how
It seems pretty straightforward.
It's pretty easy, so
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I'm excited.
We'll show some highlights of it, and then we'll probably the rear end. You had like a already fabricated like 9-inch setup, so we'll show like it's got a bottom crossbar that we're gonna have to cut out and put in that bottom mount anti-roll bar. We'll show some of that. I think that kit's pretty straightforward too. I think that's all we're doing, because you don't have shocks for the back yet. You can do shocks. You got shocks coming for the front.
Yes,
You kind of ordered those backwards, but
I did. I ordered them backwards.
it's all good. Yeah, with the anti-roll bar, it should help it out a little bit. You really need shocks for the back, because I seen last week you were kind of hitting the tire pretty hard and spinning them.
It also didn't help that I was strapping it in the rear.
Oh yeah, it's true. You're a little backwards altogether.
Hey, I'm not. Like, look, I'm new to this. I'm not true to this. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean,
Just trying things. If it
everybody
work, it work. If it don't, it don't.
Everybody has to learn somehow, so glad to help you. I like helping people.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely need to get rid of them. Change from the back, the anti-roll bar. You really need shocks for the back because you're hitting the tire pretty hard. I imagine you were probably maxing out those little chains that you had on there, and that was causing you to like blow the tire when you actually were hitting it with some nitrous.
Right.
Really, the shocks, that'll be your next thing, and the car should be working pretty good. And then maybe before too long, you'll let me put a turbo on this thing, so
It won't be long.
you can make some real power.
Won't be long.
We'll show some of the progress as we move on. Now that we got some heat in here, you want to turn that knob off?
Yes, it's running out now.
Okay.
So this is the kit I ordered. Oh, it did come with the jig. It's got the jig in here for the headlight brackets. So that should make your life a little bit easier.
I don't know. You've probably looked at the instructions. I hadn't looked at the instructions.
It looks so good, I don't even want to really paint it. I think whenever I paint the chassis, I'm just gonna cover the welds up so I don't get paint on them. All right, so before we go any further, I just want to show y'all. Whenever you're about to mock your tubes up, you want to make sure they're zeroed out. You want to get them as level as possible. You also want to level your car up. You can either level it here on the frame of the car, or you can open up your door and level it in the door jambs, but it's easier to level it up here. But you just want to make sure these bottom tubes are square. If these bottom tubes are square, everything else should weld right on perfectly. You shouldn't have any issue. But yeah, you just want to make sure these bottom tubes are as square as possible.
Down at the bottom, it's actually good, but at the top, there's a little bit of a gap, and I mean we're level, so.
Day 2 update. We got a lot of leeway yesterday on this front end. We got the bumper mounted. We got the fenders mounted. We welded our headlight buckets on. We're going to modify the headlight brackets so they're just not sticking out looking tacky. So we're going to cut them down. And Matt's going to take over from here.
We got all this tacked up. Can't look at it. It looks like crap right now, but we'll fix everything. We're just trying to get a good base for the headlights to fit, the bumper to fit. It's actually really, once you get the bars, the bottom bars are really easy. I mean, all that stuff it fits really good, pretty quick. We spent most of the time yesterday like trying to figure this bar out, getting measurements. They sit kind of wonky because you got to cut it, and if you cut one slightly different on the left side versus the right side, then they're not going to be sitting right. But as long as you got the measurement right for your headlight bucket to sit there, you're good. But we kind of started thinking about it and brainstorming and realized that we wanted to probably cut the brackets, and so I braced it right here. We're probably going to cut it right here and then kind of make it look good and get rid of this whole corner basically on both sides, so the engine bay will be freed up. They actually sent us the wrong bumper support for the top. I think they sent the Trans Am one instead of the Camaro one. Maybe Darius fucked up, I don't know.
Hey, maybe it was me. I don't know. It might have been me.
But I don't.
It said Pontiac and Chevrolet.
We'll drill holes, we'll make it fit. You just won't see their logo. No big deal. The one thing that I kind of was thinking about, we were following the instructions on the kit really closely, and I wish I wouldn't have welded the bottom bar in, because we could have saved it and used it for, radiator support exactly where we wanted it, or intercooler support later on in the future. We can still play around with the other hoop that we still got down here that's going to support the bumper. You can kind of play around with that. So we're going to grab one of my old intercoolers, we'll throw it in there, and we'll kind of judge a good spot to put that bar. We're going to cut this bottom piece, make it nice, and then actually do a bumper support off in this corner somewhere, using some of this 3/8 rod. What else we got? And then I think after we got it supported and we feel like the bumper's good, we'll actually weld everything nice.
Yeah, and one more thing we got to do is the fuse box bracket.
That too.
Yeah.
The motor mount, or not, the hood mounts or the hood pins. We got to figure
They're not lining up.
That. I think we're gonna end up having to go to a different spot because we decided to get rid of that other support.
Yeah, because the mounts will mount right there.
And I really don't want to have to put something crazy out there in like that random open space. So he said that he could patch it up. So I think we'll probably patch it, and then we'll move it out here to where those other bars and brackets are, and put something good right here, or put the pins over here. We can use those cheap pins for now, and then
I just ordered the nice pins.
you did order them?
I'm going to.
You're going to?
Yeah, I'm going to.
So, and then use those nice pins, kind of like Keegan's car. It's got those good clamps. I hadn't talked to him about that, but I know that he has trouble with those clamps too, though, or with that hood pin sometimes. So it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I heard.
But I hadn't really asked him about that. They are nice though, really nice.
Yeah, they are.
We can come up with something, don't matter. So yeah, we got all the main bars are welded in. I will go ahead and say, anybody who's doing it, I mean, you probably, if you weld any, you know that the sheet metal on here is crap, or it's thin and dirty. So I chose to just MIG weld it I burned through, a bunch of spots continuously. I MIG welded the majority of it, and then I just cleaned it up and like burned it in with the TIG, so it actually melted good. So and it looks better. I mean, yeah, that's it.
I think that's it. Matt don't want me to paint the engine bay white, but I want to paint it white. I also don't want to paint these wheels. They're so nice.
Yeah, those are nice.
The wheels look so nice.
You paint all this junk though?
Yeah, I'm going to clean it all up.
Clean all that up. It's easy to just MIG weld it, especially since we're just throwing stuff together. And we'll clean everything up. It'll look really good. And then hopefully, you can have your viewers give you suggestions on what to actually paint the engine bay, because you don't have good taste. I'd paint all this a good black, and then whenever I weld you up a turbo kit, all that polish or that good brush, nice like shiny aluminum, kind of like how my stuff is over there. It'll definitely pop in this engine bay if it was black. I mean, you got black wheels, black car. It only makes sense. Yeah, but I think we'll show some little bit of progress after we chop this off. Actually, probably the next update would be just when we wrap it up here. That'll be about it, and then we'll discuss a little bit with the anti-roll bar. That should be pretty quick. It's a bolt together deal. Like I said earlier yesterday, there's a support and crossbar for the lower control arm brackets that ties everything in. It's gonna have to get cut, and then we're gonna have to figure that out, because I don't want to leave them loose, because you can potentially crack the welds on the lower control arm. So we'll put in the anti-roll bar and then probably re-brace it onto. I'm pretty sure like the mount for the anti-roll bar has a piece that we can weld it to, and it should look good.
I think it will too.
But we gotta get busy.
Let's make it happen. Well, before I end this video, I would like to give a big shout out to Matt. He knocked this thing out of the park. I didn't show the anti-roll bar because we kind of ran out of time. I had to go to work early the next morning, but he did end up finishing the front end. Anti-roll bar came out great, but it'll be hard for me to show y'all, and I really don't feel like getting on the ground. I'm pretty sure y'all know what the anti-roll bar look like. All my body lines line up. I don't have the bumper on it right now because I was rewiring my factory harness. If you're in the market to do a turbo kit or any kind of fab work, Matt is like a one-stop shop. He's quick. You go there. You're going to be in and out. He's not going to hold your car there and hold it hostage. He's about business. So make sure y'all give him a follow, and that would be greatly appreciated. If you stayed to the end, make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. Give me up to 1,000 followers. I need 1,000 so I can get monetized and I can take this thing to the next level. But stay tuned. I got some big stuff coming in the next upcoming weeks. You're not going to want to miss it.